In this video, I'm going to talk about how I built my coaching business from the front seat of my truck, in the cab of my truck. And it's simple. It's not easy. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy, but it is simple. And you just have to, when you make the decision to start, you have to be consistent and keep going. So first, my truck, we call my truck right now the Kraken. And we're about to buy a new truck. I'll tell you about that in a different video, but it's called the Kraken. We've had the Kraken for almost 7 years. It's been a great truck. We love that truck. It's made us a lot of money. I came to the point where I knew coaching was my next step, where I wanted to go next. I decided to start while I'm still trucking. And that's a process. That's what I'm going to talk to you about today, of how to start your next chapter while you're still in or coming to the end. The story of my truck, I got into trucking because my husband, Donnell, he started trucking first. And while he was out there, he was seeing a lot of couples. And then, so he decided, I'm going to talk my wife into this. He decided to talk me into it. At that time, I was already off work for 4 years at a corporate America doing my own thing. And I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I didn't want to go back to corporate America. And then I got sick. So I had to do a video about that too, of my stroke and how I came back from that. But anyway, back to the Kraken, our truck. It got to the point where it's at the point now where we're buying a new truck, in the process of buying a new truck, because we figured out the Kraken has run its course. It's been a great truck for us. We try to keep it longer than we needed to keep it, and it actually turned into more of a problem than a solution. So sometimes we stay where we are too long because it's comfortable. We're thinking about all the good old days and when it was better, and we're thinking about how great the Kraken has been over the years. But now the Kraken has 1,000,003 miles on it. She's worn out. So it's time to move on. And it took us a while to get to this point, because we just still thinking about the past, thinking about how great a truck she was, and still expecting her to be that great of a truck right now after 1,000,000 miles and some wear and tear and some years of rough roads and things like that. So that's what I'm talking about. And when I decided to actually take coaching seriously and learn how to coach, I was thinking about what my next move is after I come from the road. What's next for me? And this just seems natural because I love coaching. I was already doing forms of coaching, just free to my family, people I knew, friends. And then I got serious about it, started making a little money, and said, okay, this could really be something. This could be something that I do outside of the truck. And I actually enjoy it more than being on the truck. But I had to get to that point to come to the realization that it's time to do something different. What does my next chapter look like? And you could be going through that same thing right now in your corporate job that I'm going through in my truck. We stay so long because it's so familiar. We're comfortable. We know what it is. We know what to expect. But then when it gets to the point, it starts having all these cracks and problems and issues, and we just want to try to keep it the way that we used to. Remembering how it used to be or how great it used to be, we try to make it stick and stay and figure out a way to stay there. And it just keeps getting worse. You keep digging yourself into the hole. We've put thousands of dollars into the Kraken, just trying to keep from getting a new truck, getting a new payment. And now we're at the point where we're paying new payment money to keep this truck running properly. So it's time for that new truck, new chapter. And if you feel that same way in your corporate job, then you understand. Think about it. You understand how staying in something comfortable, even though you know it and it seems easy, could be harming you more than it's helping you. So just think about where you are now, what your next chapter is. If you've already been having those thoughts, think about if you're trying to force yourself to stay, trying to force what you remember the good old days being like, trying to force what it used to be versus what it is now. So you have to be tactical. You have to think about your time. Once I decided I was going to do something different, but I was still having to do it from my truck, I had to be strategic with my time. I drive all day. I got to make sure that time that I'm not driving, I'm really using it strategically because I got to rest. I got to get good rest. I can't get in the front seat of that truck and take life for granted. I'm not going to take my life for granted. I'm not going to take the people's on the road's life for granted. So I got to use my time strategically. I've never been on social media a whole lot. I like Facebook because that's my family and friends, and I like to see what's going on with them. But like all the other social media, I don't really spend a lot of time with that. But I had to get strategic. I had to come up with my timeline of how I was going to spend my time and be effective with my time and posting on LinkedIn, doing DMs, reaching out. I had to come up with a timeline for that. I had to come up with a timeline for I'm going to make sure I get enough rest at night. So some things I had to cut. Some things I had to I got a few people reaching out like, what's going on with you? Where you been on Facebook? But right now I am cutting my time on that because I need to spend my time more effective. My time right now for what I'm doing, what I'm growing is more effective over here. So, and it's hard to do once you kind of got that routine that you do every day when you're off work or taking a break or whatever, but you have to see what's more important. And that's where you got to spend your time. So I came up with a time frame of how once I'm done driving for the day, how I'm gonna spend those couple hours. Once I get up for the day, how I'm gonna spend those couple hours. What I'm gonna do on my break, how I'm gonna spend that hour. Because you want to be very strategic and use that time more effectively than you've been using. I use that time to post, answer DMs. I use that time on my break. I walk every day on my break. That's just a part. As you can see, I'm overweight. I'm overweight. I'm not, and I don't get a lot of exercise driving 10 hours a day. Well, that's my time to really exercise. I do stop every few hours. I kind of just like stretch my legs, get up. Because as you know, I'm a stroke survivor, so I don't want to take a chance of blood clots and things like that. But I use my time effectively. Sometimes I won't even pick up my phone. If I know if it's my time to walk, I won't pick up my phone until it's my time to do something on my phone because it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to open an app and be on there 20, 30 minutes and then you think about, oh, I was supposed to be doing that. So take away the distractions. I don't even pick up my phone until it's time to pick up my phone. I take all those distractions out the way. And that's what you're going to have to do too when you decide you want to start something, you want to build something, because you're going to have to use this time that you're not your day job at your 9 to 5. You're going to have to use this time more effectively because if you don't, you're going to stay where you're at. And if you're serious about moving on to the next thing that you think is, whatever that is, you're going to have to be strategic with your time. So 3 is your energy. You got to manage your energy, and it's energy management, time management. You don't want to be too tired. You don't want to not have enough energy to do the things that you want to do, or be like, because then you're going to put them out on the back burner. You're going to say, I'm too tired, I'll do that tomorrow. And some days it'll be like that. You're going to have to, you'll learn how to listen to your body. And if your body just say, no, you're not doing nothing today, you resting today, then rest that day. But I'm saying on the days where you decided 4 days a week, I'm going to work for 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour on building my business after my 9 to 5, before my 9 to 5. But you're going to have to make sure you have the energy to do it. So because you can wear yourself out, you can get exhausted. And so you have to learn how to protect your mental. You have to learn how to understand your body, the body signals. You have to get enough sleep. You have to put down the things that are not working for you right now. You don't got to give them up forever. Some things you might need to give up forever. But some things, if they're draining your energy and keeping you from using your time wisely, you gotta put that down right now. So you get to the point where you have more free time. So you get to the point where you're able to leave your 9 to 5 if that's your goal. Some people love their 9 to 5, but they still want to make an extra 1,000, extra 3,000 over here doing this. So it's all, it's up to the person, but you still want to have enough energy, protect your energy for what you want to accomplish. And a lot of people will say that they're already doing that. But when they actually talk to me and I ask questions, we see that they're not. And you might not know it because we do stuff unconsciously. We pick up our phone just and be online for hours sometimes, just falling into a rabbit hole or a Netflix series sometimes for hours. That's my problem. TV. Social media is not my issue. It's TV. I don't watch TV on the truck at all. Unless we have a load that's canceled. We have some time that we didn't expect to have, then I'll turn my TV on before I pick my phone up. So when I'm at home, our home time, I will binge my series. I had to stop doing that. I'll say, I'm going to watch 2 shows, and I'm good about setting timers on my phone because that's what keeps me from, I'll say one thing, but if I'm just watching show after show after show, then I lose track of time. But if I set that timer for a couple hours and know, okay, I'm gonna get a couple hours of my show in, and then I'm gonna get a couple hours of building my business in. You have to be intentional with that, and that's all about. And if you don't do this or be intentional with your time, then that's when it starts affecting your energy because you still know you need to do this, but now you've been watching TV for 5 hours, so now you don't have any energy to put into your business. And you should. The way I do it is I'm work on my business for these hours. Once I do this and get everything done, I watch a couple episodes today. So protect your time, protect your energy, be intentional with it, structure your time, give your business the best part. Give your building your business the best part of your energy. You don't want it to be an afterthought. No, you want it to be the best. You want to give the best of yourself to putting it in your business, starting your business, getting your business off the ground, working with your clients, whatever you needed to create for your clients once you start working with them. Because once I start working with my clients, I go back, listen to those calls, see what I need to create for them, see what we need to work on before the next call. All of that, I have to protect my energy. I have to protect my time. So I make sure I do that. So I'm ready for them. So I'm ready to give them their next steps. If I'm looking at TV for 5 hours and then too tired to figure it out and only work on this for an hour, they're getting the leftovers. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Your clients are the most important thing. So that's what's going to keep your business going. So give your energy, that energy and your time, make sure you manage that so that you can be at your best for your clients. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4 is just stay focused. Create focus. It's hard to do, but you can do it. This is something new. So this is something that is going to need to be learned. This is something that's going to need to be practiced. This is something that you need to be consistent with and get better at. Because at first you're going to suck at it. This is something new you're going to be learning. You're going to be figuring it out. So if you learn that you got to stay focused on things, then this will help you reframe all of that noise that's going to come with you actually managing your time, and managing your energy. You know that you need to stay focused. You know that you don't want anything to distract you because you're going to have some distractions coming up. I have plenty of distractions throughout the day on the road because a lot of things don't go as planned. I have a plan, but what happens when it doesn't go as planned? You have to stay focused on that, and you have to have a plan for when things don't go right. Your whole day is not destroy everything that you had planned. You just throw your hands up and be like, well, forget it. Nothing's working out. Just because I'm able to stay focused, I have a plan for if things go right. I have a plan for if things go wrong. Sometimes I can work on my business for a few hours. Sometimes might only can do it for 20 minutes or 30 minutes because of what happens in my day job on the road. Everything that's went wrong, and now this is affecting my time because I thought I was going to be able to deliver my load at this time, but it was a wreck, and I was stuck in traffic, and then construction happened, and then this happened, and then that happened, and they held me up over here, so it delayed me over here. So now this is going into effect what I had going on over here. But if you have a plan for all of that, it'll help you stay focused, and it'll help you to keep going. Keep going regardless of how the day goes, regardless of if it your day is completely messed up. You know, in the corporate world, you might not be able to get the work done you plan on getting done because something happened, the printer didn't work, you weren't able to do this, you had problems with your internet or whatever. You know, that's how it'll go in the corporate world, and then so now you can't work on this over here. But if you already know this is how it'll go if things go well, this is how it'll go if things go wrong, then you can stay focused and not lose your focus and still be able to maintain some things and get some things done that you need to get done. And you can be more efficient with working with your clients. So it's not a disadvantage when things go wrong if you just reframe the way you look at it. It's just so things go wrong. Things don't always go as planned, but that's okay if it doesn't go as planned because I already had a backup. This is what it's going to look like today. This is how I'm going to move forward today. So once you just have a focus on what your day will look like in any situation, then that'll help you to keep going and keep that momentum going. And so, and that's how I do on the truck, how I handle things on the truck. And when you can handle things in a similar fashion in your 9 to 5. Okay, so that's number 4 is focus. Number 5 is if I can do it, I know you can do it. Okay? I'm doing it from the road. I'm doing it when I'm traveling on vacation, in between creating that time, in between stops, in between delivering loads, in between if I'm on a vacation before the day gets started. I woke up at 6:30 this morning so I could work on my videos because that's important to me. I didn't have to wake up that early on vacation, but I am not thinking about waking up this super early on vacation. I'm thinking about what's important to me and how I can get it done, how I create time to get it done. And you're going to have to start thinking about it like that too. And I want, when you think about all the things that's holding you holding you back and all the problems, think about me. Think about if I could do it from the road with internet going in and out, with having to do things in between loads, having to really focus on using my time wisely, focus on keeping my energy level, even when things go wrong. If I can do all of that from the front seat of the truck or in the back, sometimes I'm in the bunk when Donnell's driving. If I can do that from the road, you can do it from home. You can do it from anywhere too. So I just want to encourage you to think about what it could be, what it could look like. And if you want to move into that next step, if you want to move into building something while you're still at your 9 to 5, like I'm doing, building something while I'm still on the road. I'm not ready to come from off the road yet, but eventually I will be. I'll be doing coaching full time. Right now, I'm only doing it part time. That's my choice because I do love the road. My husband still needs me right now, but we're going to get to the point where I am at home doing this full time. If I can do it in these conditions, when I get home, it's going to be all good. That's what I think in my mind anyway. I'll have different issues to come up when I'm at home. But anyway, just know that if I can do it, you can do it. So just think about the steps that I talked about today. Just my story of me being on the road in the Kraken, building something from where I'm at, and no matter what circumstance I'm going through, and then your power hour. Just thinking about your time wisely. Use your time wisely. When you're not at your regular 9 to 5 job, how are you going to use your time? And then think about energy management and time management. Preserving your energy, giving your best energy to what matters most, and then using your time wisely. Stop scrolling endlessly. Stop binging on those series. Do what's most important first. And then staying focused. Keep your focus. Even when days don't go as planned. You have a plan for how the day is. If something happens to derail that, then you have this backup plan. And then remember, if I can do it, you can do it. So I just want you to remember that. And if you have any questions, want to know, have any more questions about anything, about LinkedIn, about me trucking, how I'm doing it, just comment below. I'm going to answer every question, tell you how I'm doing it, what's worked out for me, what didn't work out for me. And if you are serious about thinking about what that next level could be, what it could look like for you, hit the link, book a free call with me. We can get on the call. I don't pressure anybody. I tell them what it looks like to work with me, and then you make the decision. It's up to you if you want to work with me or not. Well, book that free call. Hit the link, book the free call. We can get on there and we could see what your next chapter would look like. And that's all for this video, guys. Remember, you have to be intentional. So set the intent, expect to receive, and look and believe in the abundance. If you don't know how to get your first client on LinkedIn, I created the first client checklist. It's a free tool. So download that checklist, work through those steps. Make sure when you download it, go through it in the first 48 hours. It's about action. Okay? You have to take the action. So download that tool and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.